From proto-man to the proto-molecule, nerds like a lot of things, but there's something they love above all else, and that is correcting people. This is Actually. And joining us today, we have Ify Nwadiwe.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy. I'm back.
He's back. And Siobhan Thompson.
Hi, what's up? It's your girl.
And our fan contestant for this game from Lexington, Kentucky, Jeremy Puckett.
Hi, diddly ho, neighborinos.
There we go. We're very excited to have you here. Very excited to get the fans in here. This will be the last episode that we're doing for a while. It's like this, but hopefully we'll get to do some more in the future. And if you didn't hear about this before, I don't know, get on the Discord. You two have played before. You've certainly seen some episodes in your time, so you all know how this game works. But for those at home, I have here a stack of statements. These are incorrect statements about the things that you know and love. It's up to these fine contestants to find a thing that is wrong and correct it. Corrections must be preceded with the phrase, actually. If you don't, I won't give you the point. And you can correct me at any point in my sentence. Pretty simple rules, pretty simple game. Let's see how it goes. Based off the 1990s manga of the same name, the film Alita Battle Angel takes place in the post-apocalyptic distant future of Earth, focusing on the sprawling junkyard metropolis of Iron City, which sits below the wealthier floating city of Salem.
Actually, it doesn't actually take place on Earth.
Incorrect.
Well, you always make it look like
That's
you're
what
going
I
to
was
say
gonna
I'm right.
guess.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
Actually, the manga is called Gundam, or Battle Angel Alita in the English translation.
That's correct. The manga is called Battle Angel Alita, not Alita Battle Angel.
Okay.
I get to go home with a
real
point.
nitpicky shit. All right.
That's when we can sort of like sit back and like, okay, I got this.
Now I don't have to worry about dishonor on my house, dishonor on my cow.
Great, that's perfect. Yeah, we're no dishonor around here. You got that point.
Cool. You got the pedant questions then. That's the ones you got.
What game do you think we're playing?
Cool. All right. I thought we were talking about some real nerd stuff, not rearranging words. This ain't Scrabble.
All right, well, that's a point for Jeremy. We'll move on to our next question. This is about Kingdom Hearts.
Well,
Yours.
The Kingdom Hearts series brings together characters from Final Fantasy and Disney in a notoriously hard-to-follow adventure story. The first game starts, however, in a location known as the Destiny Islands, a location that is original to Kingdom Hearts and populated entirely by original characters, like our protagonist, Sora. Jeremy.
Actually, it is not inhabited by entirely original characters.
That's correct. Can you be more specific?
I cannot. You have exhausted the depth of my Kingdom Hearts knowledge.
Well, that's fair enough. Anyone else?
actually, Minnie Mouse lives there.
Oh, man, that was...
Incorrect.
Whew, this is a free throw because I got to take myself back to Ify in 2006, playing this right before senior year, getting ready. I had two things on my mind: beat Kingdom Hearts, lose my virginity.
Which one
And
did
the
you
two
do
are
first?
in
I lost my
conflict.
virginity first.
You know what? Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Look, Kingdom Hearts is a hard game.
Yeah.
American Pie type story.
Well, that's what I grew up off. I was like, I can't graduate a virgin. Movies, they have an effect on me. So I'm going to go and guess that the character was Lilo from Lilo and Stitch.
Incorrect. So we'll give that point to Jeremy. The island was also populated by child versions of well-known Final Fantasy characters. Waka and
yes.
Titus from Final Fantasy X,
Yes.
and Selphie from Final Fantasy VIII.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the correct response.
No, I have a friend who was recently playing Kingdom Hearts 3, and I asked him, so you finished it, does the ending make any sense? And his response was, about as much as the rest of the series does.
Nothing in this series makes sense. These are already characters that have backstories that are existing elsewhere, but here they are as children.
It also seems insane to me that Disney, which is like notoriously very proprietary about their stuff and how you use them, is like, sure, Mickey can have a sword and kill people, absolutely.
Well, actually, I believe, although I may need someone to check me on this, because this could be apocrypha or something just invaded my brain, I believe that part of the reason that Sora wields a giant key is instead of a sword is because Disney was like, no, not a big sword, that's too violent. So it's like, what if it's a big ass key? And it's like, that's cool, that'll work all right. So yeah, so the sword, the weapon is just a giant key.
That makes as much sense to me as anything about Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Wild.
Well, a point for Jeremy on that one for identifying that it wasn't populated entirely by original characters. Here's a D&D question for y'all. In the Planescape setting of Dungeons & Dragons, the city of Sigil serves as a kind of interdimensional crossroads. It is ruled by the Lady of Pain, an inscrutable being powerful enough to kill a god with a single thought. She also does not allow beings like gods into Sigil, instead insisting that the denizens of Sigil worship her as their one true goddess. Yes, Jeremy?
Actually, one of the Lady of Pain's primary rules is that she is not to be worshipped as a god.
That is correct.
Man.
Wow.
I didn't have a
Yeah.
stance. You know, I just play my own cooked up games. I don't
Yeah.
use systems. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, y'all.
Best thing about Planescape is Tony DeTurlizzi's art. It's just beautiful and like labyrinth type stuff as D&D, and is gorgeous.
Oh, so you just read it for the pictures?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I think I've talked about this before, but when I was a kid, I would get monster manuals just for the art.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I didn't play Dungeons & Dragons, but I was like, that's a cool monster. I'm gonna
I feel
buy
like this
that.
is the more beat for beat the difference between nerds and regular dudes. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, no, I read it for the articles. Like, no, I read it for the pictures.
Well, that is another point for Jeremy. This is a new thing that we're doing. This is a fan question. So this is a question written by a fan and submitted to the show. So this will be fan v fan a little bit here. This comes to us from Tekiza. Maybe that's how you say your name. Tekiza? Tekiza. Let's go with Tekiza. The Norse pantheon is full of familiar figures like Odin and his sons Thor and Loki, but there are many obscure deities too. Forseti is a god who peacefully settled disputes between men, Sol is the goddess of the sun, Mani is the god of the moon, and Hodor is a warrior god typically depicted as blind. Iffy.
Actually, Hodor's not one of the gods.
Hodor's one of the gods.
All right.
Hodor. Siobhan.
Actually, Hodor isn't blind. Odin is blind.
Odin
They
is
usually have
missing
two.
an eye. Hodor is depicted as blind.
There's a lot of blind deities in
Hey,
Norse
you know.
mythology.
Actually, in Norse mythology, Loki is not Odin's son, he's Odin's brother.
That's correct. In the Marvel, they are brothers, but
See, that's why I,
so deep
thought I
into
was
the
like,
MCU.
I was like,
you
is it
can't let
just
the
a-
MCU trick you. Yep, this was a.
Stanley! Done again.
You've tricked me again.
Just remember, if you ever think that mythology is weird, Loki once had sex with a horse to win a bet.
Oh, yeah, and then didn't he have a horse child
He had a
that
horse
he
baby.
gave birth
Yeah,
to?
yeah. He was the mother of a horse.
Great.
Yeah.
Look, you know, you got if you're living in classical times, if you're living in a mythological age, you got to be careful with the animals you fuck, because
mean,
you're
look-
gonna give birth to animals.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tekiza, for this tricky Norse mythology versus Marvel question. That's another point for Jeremy, and this will bring us to our first shiny question of the game. Shiny questions, of course, same number of points. Just a little bit different, a little bit rare, just like shiny Pokemon. This is a game called Where Am I? So this is a game called Where Am I? This is a game we've played before. So on the other side of this, there are a series of maps. So we're gonna go kind of one at a time. First person to buzz in and correct it will get the point. Wait till I say next to flip to the next one, just so everyone's looking at the same thing at the same time. Now in the past, these have been predominantly fantasy maps from fantasy novels. This time, these are going to be video game maps. Flip your stack, tell me, where am I? What map is this? Jeremy.
This is Final Fantasy VI.
It is Final Fantasy VI. All right, flip to the next one. Where am I? What is this? Iffy.
Witcher 3.
This is
Well
The
done.
Witcher 3, yes. All right, flip.
Super Mario World.
Yes, that was just a race to see who could get it first, and that was Iffy. All right, and flip.
Ooh.
Oh.
Where am I? Where is this? Jeremy.
Fantasy Star?
Incorrect. Siobhan.
Is this Civilization?
It is not.
Zone of the Enders.
Incorrect. This is Capital Wasteland from Fallout 3.
Oh my god! I've never seen it completely revealed like
Yes.
this.
We're
Oh
zoomed
my
way
god!
out.
Yeah.
Yep. So no one gets that one. So we'll get ready here for the next one and flip. Iffy.
This is, I was almost going to say Fallout, but this is Fortnite.
This is
This is
Fortnite.
season 6 too, I think. Season season 5 or 6.
Ify, I don't have that information on my card. I couldn't tell you, but this is in fact Fortnite. All right, and let's get that last map flip. Jeremy.
This is Oregon Trail.
This is the Oregon Trail.
I was just gonna,
I didn't even need to read the map. Like the shape of it was burned into my eyeballs.
Yeah, this is, yep, there it is. That's our grand country there. Soda Springs and all. Well, that was a very fast-moving one. Jeremy, you got 2. Ify, you got 3. That point goes to Ify.
look at so many maps.
Oops, we fucked up. Here are some of our favorite corrections from you, the viewer.
At Factually Mister says, actually, Rio should have been written with a macron over the O instead of a tilde. Well, you got it, my little linguistic heart, so 1 point for you. And for the exclusive Dropout Discord, Wero the Great says, actually, you don't need 30 cards for a Hearthstone deck. You can just add Whizbang the Wonderful, and he gives you a random deck to start with. That is a wonderful loophole, 1 point. The aptly named Snarkeologist says, actually, Dr. Ellie Sattler is a paleontologist. Paleobotany is a subdiscipline within paleontology, and a paleobotanist is essentially a specialized paleontologist who studies plants. Well, okay.
We'll move on to our next question here. One of the earliest attempts to adapt The Lord of the Rings to the screen was by the Beatles. It was to feature original songs by the Beatles with Paul McCartney as Frodo, Ringo Starr as Sam, George Harrison as Gandalf, and John Lennon as Aragorn. The project was canceled because Tolkien did not like the Beatles' music. Ify.
Nah, it wasn't canceled because Tolkien didn't like the music. It was canceled because the Beatles, John Lennon died.
Incorrect.
Actually, George Harrison wasn't Gandalf.
Incorrect.
Actually, John Lennon wasn't going to be Aragorn?
That is correct.
Oh, damn it!
Can you guess who John Lennon was supposed to play?
John Lennon was going to be Gollum?
That's correct.
That's wild. That's wild.
Wow.
I mean, if anybody's gonna be Gollum, surely Ringo Starr should be Gollum.
That's an insane choice. Like
Wow.
you have to wonder, like, when they're casting that, of just like, all right, cool, we all know what's going on here. Like, to settle on like John Lennon, like, you're Gollum. Like, what the
What?
fuck?
But he must have chosen that. He must have been like, we're gonna do Lord of the Rings and I get to be Gollum.
There's just so much range. I could just be Gollum.
My precious.
Yes.
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 Everything else about that, though, is true. They did want to adapt it.
That is wild.
It was going to be, this like whole big project. And then Tolkien was like, no, you don't. I don't want to do this. And he wasn't not a fan of the Beatles.
I mean, you'd think that if anybody was going to try and adapt Lord of the Rings, it would be Led Zeppelin.
right?
Yeah, or I mean, at that time, it's like I feel like there's a lot of fantasy rock stuff that was going on,
Yeah.
and not like a beep beep boop beep. Oh, an octopus! It's the Beatles.
We're riding on an eagle and we're going.
Ooh, acid. Did things to my brain, and now I see them in the street.
Yeah, I mean, it's like clearly this would have been an insane adaptation, but I do wish I could have seen. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I was trying for a long time to see. Like, is there any remainder of this project like anywhere online? Like, is there evidence of like what they were working on? Any songs they were working on? Can't find anything. But it's like I'm dying to know like what they were cooking up. You
And
know?
let's be honest, can it be any crazier than like the Bakshi rotoscoped Lord of the Rings?
Right.
I mean, I love that. It's also so insane that it just ends because they run out of money and they were like, well, you can watch it anyway. It just ends, but I guess you can give us some money
Yeah.
and then we'll have the money. I don't know. It's very baffling.
I was always in the Rankin Bass Hobbit myself. So.
I loved the Rankin Bass Hobbit, but I also like that was my first exposure to the Hobbit, so it's still sort of like, you know, in my mind, like it's like that's what I think of like first before almost anything else. I also want to share this other little tidbit, which is there was another attempt in the '70s to adapt Lord of the Rings. That was like wildly different, where they like really tried to like Hollywoodize it, and it included a scene where they put Gimli in a hole and beat the shit out of him until he remembers how to get into Moria, and also features a scene in which Frodo has sex with Galadriel.
Hell yeah. Of
So
all of the 2 women in Lord of the Rings that he could have had sex with.
So all this is to say, I highly encourage you to check out the history of these film adaptations because they're wild.
Yeah.
Great, that's another point for Jeremy. Here is a question about Ranma 1/2.
About what?
Ranma 1/2.
It's an anime.
Great. Well,
How you doing there, Siobhan? Ranma Saotome was cursed after falling into the spring of the drowned girl while practicing martial arts, and now he turns into a girl when, yes?
He wasn't practicing martial arts. He was trying to see some titties.
That is not what I have on my card, but you sound extremely confident.
But it's not because he was practicing martial arts, right?
It is because he's, as far as I know. You're saying it so confidently, it's making me doubt myself. But
maybe I saw a different Ranma. But he was being horny. That's a very horny show.
I don't know how you're gonna Google was Ranma looking for titties, but
it was a very horny show.
how horny was this anime?
All right, let's just finish out. I'll find the nuts thing, but I don't know. I think he was trying to see some boobs.
All right, we'll look into that, and I'll read the rest of the question. Ranma Saotome was cursed after falling to the spring of the drowned girl while practicing martial arts, and now he turns into a girl whenever he touches cold water. Other characters have been cursed in a similar fashion by falling into different Japanese cursed springs, including people who transform into a panda, a pig, a child, and a Hindu warrior goddess.
Actually, it's not a Hindu warrior goddess. It is a character from Buddhist mythology.
Incorrect.
But it sounded convincing,
It sounded very convincing.
It's not when he touches water. It's when he gets real horny.
Quit trying to make things so horny, man.
This show is
That's
so
a
horny.
different series.
This show is so horny.
That is incorrect. Jeremy.
Actually, they're not Japanese curse springs, they're Chinese curse springs.
That's correct.
Like, it took me a second for my wheels to turn.
Yes, they are Chinese springs.
It is a crazy show, let me tell you.
It's horny. Trust me, when you watch it.
I don't know about this horny anime. I've never heard of this horny anime before.
Yeah, you're right. There's
Anime being horny.
That's crazy.
Any answer on this titties
It was
question?
not, although I will admit it was a very horny show. It was while practicing martial arts. His dad actually hits him off of a pole and he falls.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know which anime I was watching. It might not have been
And
an
this is
anime.
after they freaking swam to China, so
Sure, yeah.
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 that's what you do when you're a martial artist.
Yeah.
Well, we got that all sorted out.
Now I'm like trying to scrape my brain because there is like a clear animated anime in my head where some dude's trying to look at some boobs and he falls into a hot springs, but it's probably just a different anime. It could be.
That sounds like it could be
any.
hundreds of
You have named a whole lot of shows right there.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we'll move on then. They're Chinese springs.
You ever feel like there's just too much to watch these days? Streaming stuff, there's stuff on TV, there's movies, there's a lot to catch up on. Well, I'm here to tell you, there's also a lot of shit you should be listening to. Podcasts, audiobooks. There's a lot more to catch up on. So when you need to rest your tired, screen-strained eyes, why not turn off by listening to something? Yeah, put something in your ears. Ears, the eyes of your head. Wait, your eyes are also in your head. And the best way to hear some sounds through your ear holes is with Raycon wireless earbuds. Do you like podcasts? You like audiobooks? Whatever it is, Raycon earbuds will make all the difference. I've got Raycons. They're jammed into my head right now. And honestly, I do use them all the time. They pair instantly with my phone as soon as I open up the case. I just transport myself to another audio world when I put these babies in. And look at them. It looks like I'm wearing nothing at all. Scandalous. And Raycon makes great sound accessible to anyone, with wireless earbuds starting at half the price of other premium audio brands. I mean, can you even tell I'm wearing these things? I'll tell you this, my wife can. She's constantly trying to talk to me, and I have no idea. Raycon is offering 15% off all their products for Actually fans, and here's what you gotta do to get it. Just go to buyraycon.com/actually, and that's it. That's all you have to do. buyraycon.com/actually and get 15% off your entire order. You'll get 15% off your entire order, so grab a pair and a spare while you're at it, you know? That's 15% at buyraycon.com/actually.
This is a question about World of Darkness. Mages in the World of Darkness games aren't limited to a list of predetermined spells. Mages have access to godlike reality-bending abilities whose only limitations are the mage's skill at casting, the player's imagination, and of course, how they roll their 10-sided dice. Siobhan?
Actually, it's a 12-sided dice.
No. Looking for divine inspiration.
Yeah. I'm trying to like get the energy put into me.
Sure.
Actually, some spells can't bend reality. That's breaking the game.
No. Yes.
Actually, Imagination has nothing to do with it. There are very strict rules. No fun in this game.
Yeah, there's a strict by the letter thing. If you even veer from it, then the game ends immediately. That's not what we're going for now.
Actually, they're also limited by the observer effect and paradox.
That's correct. Yes. There is a major game mechanic that we've left out here, which is well, I don't know. I'll give it to you, Jeremy. You want to explain how this works?
So in Mage, reality is a consensus that's like held together by the common will of all humanity.
Great.
And so mages are people who've woken up and realized, oh wait, I don't have to do what everybody else tells me. I can just change things however I want. But whenever you try to change things, you're pushing out against that entire weight of all the other people who believe something. And so if they're watching you do it, then their conception of reality crushes you.
Oh.
So it's essentially a sort of like a series of the ones from the Matrix who realize this is all a lie, but also if people watch you doing magic, then it causes reality to crumble.
The funny thing about this is that it creates this weird loop where you can do things that are magic as long as you can do them in a way that make people think they're not. So like you can cast a lightning bolt at somebody and make it coincidentally that, a wire broke loose from a power line and fell on them, and that's a lightning bolt.
Yeah, it feels like a fun mechanic, at least in the sense of like, you have to, it like makes it plausible that this world could exist within our world, where it's just like, yeah, there are wizards, they're just hiding. And anytime you see something crazy happen, like a big sinkhole open up, like that wasn't just a sinkhole opening up, that was magic. Well, that's correct. We left that big one out, and that is that. This will bring us to our second shiny question of the game. This is called Spelling Bee.
Oh no.
Spelling sci-fi in English is hard enough. Spelling in sci-fi fantasy is damn near impossible. So I'm going to give you a name of something from some speculative world. First person to spell it correctly will get the point. Your word is... I have to make sure I'm pronouncing this right before I say it. Mgalagolo. This is the actual name for hunters from the Halo series.
Okay. M apostrophe G A H L E G O.
Incorrect.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, I hit it again. Sorry.
Siobhan, you want to take a stab at it?
M apostrophe G A L E G apostrophe O L O.
Incorrect.
M apostrophe
All agreed on this apostrophe, so that must be true.
Galagolo.
Incorrect. Sorry to say. Are people at least familiar with the word? Is this like
Not in any way, shape, or form.
Come across? Well, I'm sorry. There it is. Mgalagolo. That is M-G, no apostrophe.
Dang.
A-L-E-K-G-O-L-O. There you go. Didn't know if anyone would get that. Had to try it. Like maybe you're reading the extended Halo universe. You're reading about that stuff. It's a word you come across all the time. Turns out, no. Well, I'm not perfect, and I make mistakes too. So many mistakes. If you notice something that I got wrong, you can correct me by tweeting at @UmActuallyShow or by commenting on the Drop At Discord. I've made so many mistakes. Here's a question about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm looking for reactions and...
Just not.
I do not even know what context or genre
man,
this
then
is.
wait till you hear this question.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure certainly earns its name. Among its many bizarre features is its flagrant theft of pop culture proper nouns. We meet characters named Tonpetty, Oingo and Boingo, Steely Dan, Kenny G, Donovan, Weather Report, Robert E.O. Speedwagon, and Senator Wilson Phillips. There are also powerful fighting spirits named Limp Bizkit, Yo-Yo Ma, Sex Pistols, Spice Girl, and Kraftwerk. Protagonist Jonathan Joestar, aka JoJo, is named for the character from the Beatles song Get Back. Siobhan.
Actually, he was horny and he fell in the pool because he was trying to look at them titties.
I'm gonna have to get my fact checker on that just because I want him to Google Jonathan Joestar horny titties. Yes.
Craft work isn't one of the fighting spirits.
Ify, I'm happy to tell you you're wrong.
Always,
Jerry.
always with that.
Actually,
Yes.
JoJo is not named for the character from Get Back.
That's correct. It wasn't in the long string of names. That was just to throw you around. There's been a sort of like winking reference that maybe that there's like something going on there. But Jonathan Joestar is named after the real Japanese restaurant, Jonathan's Family Restaurant. The JoJo Beatles connection has never actually been confirmed. The creator kind of gave like a wink, sort of like, oh yeah, there's something going on here. When the character put in a Get Back cassette. So yeah, that's that. Is this a thing you're allowed to do? Like, it feels like a legal
like a
nightmare
fair
waiting to
use
happen.
type
That's why it's taking so
situation?
long for JoJo to come to America in any real fashion, actually. Like, in the current translation that they do for like Crunchyroll and stuff, they have to actually change a lot of the subtitled character names for legal reasons. So like Oingo and Boingo in the subtitles, they call them Zendata and Mondata.
Huh.
And so there's just like all kinds of like nonsensical legal changes. And like, I can see why you would change that because they would get real mad, but why does this person not?
Yeah, like, yeah, REO Speedwagon is totally cool with it.
How many questions do we have left, Mike?
Well, I'll tell you, you have 3 questions left.
Great,
we'll
so
move on.
I still have a chance.
I mean, I think,
I'm not a mathematician, Matt.
yeah,
I called you Matt. That's how
That's all right.
frazzled I am right now.
I'm
Track.
being real spun around.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's just ride it out.
you know what? Yeah, let's
And
see
if
where
you
this
want to
goes.
throw
You
in
know
that
what?
7-point
I
question,
might win that big old one at the end.
Yeah, like
And
you said
that'll
last
make
time,
me
you've
feel
always
like a
gotten the
great-
real life skills
I have
one.
always gotten the real life skills one.
when
Because I'm a
skills happens, I'm
goddamn
just gonna be
adult.
like,
Yeah. Brendan revealed this morning that he's never gotten the real life skills.
Oh,
so
yeah, Brendan
you're-
has no real
together
life
you
skills.
form a full
Fully functional human being. And that is how men and women have functioned throughout the universe and for all time.
There we go. All right, here is a video game question. Silent Hill 2's original release debuted the iconic monster Pyramid Head. It also featured 5 possible endings, 4 real endings resolving the story in psychologically disturbing ways, and a 5th joke ending, in which the protagonist was abducted by cheesy 1950s B-movie style aliens. Siobhan,
Actually, Pyramid Head was in Silent Hill 1.
incorrect. Jeremy,
Actually, the fake ending of Silent Hill 2 is a dog.
that's correct. Can you be more specific?
In the fake ending of Silent Hill 2, you break into a control room and find a dog at a control panel, like doing special effects work, and the main character's like, "It was you all along."
That's correct, yeah.
Wild.
I mean, I don't play scary games, so
Yeah, no, I
I
don't play-
don't do that scary stuff.
I think
That
my
doesn't
mom
sound
played
that
that game
scary,
and
though. It's
banned
got a
me
dog
from
in
playing
it.
it.
Yeah,
The rest of the game to get there, though.
Yeah. Cool. Well, this brings us to our last shiny question of the game. On the other side of this, there's going to be 6 different characters and little tiny spoons with food, the names of food written on them. It'll be up to you to give the appropriate food to the appropriate character that is like matching the food from the franchise to the character that it would belong to.
Great.
Whoever can get the most correctly matched up will get the point. All right, let's flip those over. Look who we got here. Look at these. Look at these fun
goodness.
folks, and look at all the stuff that they.
Well, I
wanna eat.
recognize 3 of these people.
A bunch of hungry folks, hungry for food. But what food? Don't give them the wrong thing. They're picky eaters. Please put the spoons as close to their mouths as possible for comedic effect. If you just flagrantly looking at Siobhan's board, not even trying to hide
I'm
it.
not a good person to cheat off of. You can please
Just
go
like
ahead.
curious.
no,
looking over.
no, I was looking and I was like, oh, she made the same guesses as me, so we're either both right or both very wrong.
We will live or die by where fucking Bream goes. All right, how's everyone doing? Anyone locked
done.
in?
Great.
As good as we'll get? Okay, cool. We will start at the end with Ify, and then we'll work our way this way and see how we did. All right, so Ify, tell us who you're feeding and what you're feeding them.
All right, well, I'm gonna just be straight up with you and let you know I only recognize one person on this, and I even forgot his name. So that's all right. But this looks like a little comedy joint, so I'm like, all right, he's probably eating red kibble because they're like, oh, this is funny. Genomite sounds sci-fi enough for this guy right here. Frobscottle, he seems very, I mean, look at those ears. That's a Frobscottle eating ear. Cram seems like, see, this is like very serious in the future in space. We eat cram because that's all we can afford on this ship. And Breen sounds Tolkien enough. And Mutter's Milk, this also is like, yeah, we have to drink Mutter's Milk because we're in the future.
I will say you got one correct. So Siobhan, let's see how you did.
Ooh,
Okay, so I said
Nom, nom,
this
nom, nom.
animated guy who I don't know,
Yeah,
I gave him Mutter's Milk.
okay.
Because that sounds dumb enough to make it animation. This is Babylon 5, but I don't remember the food that these guys eat.
Okay.
This, of course, is the BFG, the Big Friendly Giant, Frobscottle.
Frobscottle.
That one I know.
Oh, so that's the one I got right.
This red kibble I said for this dude. Cram, obviously, the dwarves eat cram.
Yes, yes.
And then this is the one that I had left, so this lady gets this.
Very-
Genomite.
Very good. You have 3 correct.
Oh, all right.
All right.
That's what I thought.
Jeremy, you wanna give it a go here?
All right, so this is Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I
Yes.
could not freaking remember a thing from it right
Okay.
now. So I picked Frobscottle because I don't know anything about food. This is Babylon 5, yeah. I picked Genomite because I couldn't remember there either. I had no idea who this gnome-looking dude was, but apparently
BFG.
this is the BFG. This is Jane from Firefly, and Mutter's Milk is a thing they drink.
Yes.
I picked Breen because I couldn't remember any Tolkien food because he doesn't obsess over it like Martin does.
Yeah.
Nope.
And Cram, the only thing I could remember Cram from was Fallout. So
So I think you got. I think you also got 1 correct here. So that makes
I'm on
Siobhan
the
our winner
board,
with
baby.
3.
Hell
We
yeah.
can go through the correct answers here. Nom 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 nom. Let's see these. Yeah. Collectively, we kind of got most of them. Genomite. This is from Avatar. Breen for Babylon 5. Frobscottle for the BFG. Mutter's Milk for Jane from Firefly. Cram is a bread-like substance that is eaten by men and dwarves. And then red kibble, this is from the Expanse series, that is eaten by belters in the Expanse. I haven't actually seen it, but the books are real great. And Siobhan, you got Frobscottle, Cram, and Breen.
Stupid.
All fun names.
All
They're
the things
fun
we like
names.
are stupid.
We all love to eat Breen.
I feel embarrassed. I didn't realize that was Avatar: The Last Airbender. I didn't, like, it was so cropped up that if I would have saw that outfit, I would have known. But
Yeah.
need to
Also,
live here
I
and
fell
get me a
off.
big plate of Cram now.
Yeah, I like fell off by then.
Yeah.
Like I read book 1, book 2, and then I found horny anime. And was like, I'm going back.
It's like, there's titties here.
Yeah, sorry y'all.
Enough of this
Lupin
old man
III
eating
is showing it
Genomite.
all.
I put away my Kingdom Hearts and my Avatar, and I moved on. That was when I became a man.
Yeah.
Our last question, as always, concerns real-life skills. Not any of the stuff we talked about, just things that could be valuable in real life. Every second counts during a heart attack, and taking a quick action can help limit the damage caused. After calling 911 to ensure professional medical care is received promptly, quickly swallowing an aspirin whole inhibits platelets in your blood, which helps prevent increased clotting. Jeremy.
Actually, aspirin does not give you increased platelets because it inhibits clotting. Increased platelets would create more clotting.
It inhibits platelets.
Okay.
Yeah. Siobhan.
Actually, you want to crumble the aspirin up so that it hits your bloodstream faster.
That's correct.
Oh.
Siobhan
Wow.
continuing
I
her
am
streak.
so skilled.
Continue your streak of the real
Adulting with
life
Siobhan
skills.
Thompson.
Yeah,
you know?
ideally you should chew the aspirin, not swallow it whole. Chewing it causes it to work faster, which who knows how much faster, but like in a heart attack,
heart
every
attack
little bit
situation.
helps.
Yeah.
Do anything you can to get that into you. Chew up that aspirin, don't swallow it whole. And so that is a point for Siobhan, making our final score. 1 point for Ify, 2 points for Siobhan, and a whopping 9 points for Jeremy Puckett, our fan guest for this episode. Thank you all for playing with us. Thank you for traveling out here to play with us. And thank you for watching. Join us next time for even more pedantic corrections here on Actually.
Bye-bye.
Bye, bye, bye.